Hey everyone, welcome back to Fenralian Gamer. Today, we're diving into a secretive Ubisoft project that's been in the works for a while but hasn't been officially announced yet. A brand new action-adventure game is coming, and according to rumors, it's going to combine the cinematic vibe of Uncharted with the exploration mechanics of Tomb Raider. But the real bombshell here? The main character Freya, Vings. Before we get into all the juicy details, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now's the perfect time. And if you like the video, hit that like button. It means a lot. Subscribing and liking, totally free. Come on, don't be selfish. One click is all it takes to support the channel. Let's grow together. Let's get started. Lately, leaks have been popping up all over Reddit, Twitter, and several gaming forums. These details, apparently tied to a project codenamed Eclipse of the Relics, are already getting gamers seriously hyped. Judging by the leaked images and story summaries, this is shaping up to be a very ambitious game. And the most eye-catching part? A badass female lead is right at the center of it all. Freya Vings, a former seer from Norway. Now she's described as a grave robber, surrounded by ancient relics and supernatural forces. Rumor has it she's 2 meters tall, with the physique of a warrior. She's a close combat expert who wields a magical spear, one that's not only deadly in battle but also used to unlock passageways across the map. Gameplay-wise, it looks like the dual character mechanic we saw in Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming back here too, but this time the focus isn't evenly split. Freya is clearly the main character. The second character is Joel, a former CIA agent who brings in gadgets, firearms, and trap-setting abilities. Players will be able to switch between them during missions, but some segments will be designed exclusively for Freya. As for the story, not much has been confirmed. But according to a few leaks, the game might start during a time when Freya and Joel are already living together. Some sources even claim we'll see them as a married couple, telling their child about their past, and that players will get to experience that past through gameplay. Nothing's confirmed yet though, so take that with a grain of salt. One of the most talked about gameplay features is Freya's ancient spear. It's not just for close combat. It's used to activate magical abilities, trigger mechanisms, and solve environmental puzzles. With a mix of combos, symbols, and ritual mechanics, this spear system seems to offer a more tactical experience than your typical hack-and-slash combat. Another unique skill Freya has is something called seer vision. This gives her the ability to slow down time, predict enemy movements, and reveal hidden paths. So we're not just talking brute strength here. This is gameplay that demands mystical intuition too. On the other hand, Joel's gameplay is totally different. Think guns, drones, mines, advanced tracking tech. He's basically a survivalist expert. While Freya operates on instinct and mysticism, Joel's all about modern strategy. This contrast could offer players multiple ways to tackle missions, and, if done right, create a dynamic balance rarely seen in games. Leaked info about the map is pretty wild too. Most of the game reportedly takes place in the jungles of South America. Expect Aztec and Mayan temples, ancient ruins, toxic caves, ritual sites, and more. It's clear Ubisoft is putting a big focus on exploration and environmental storytelling, especially when it comes to platforming, puzzles, and unlocking hidden paths. There's supposed to be a ton of content. Some missions won't let you rely on just one character. For example, certain gates might only be opened with Freya's spear, while other obstacles can only be bypassed using Joel's tech. In other words, players will need to learn and utilize both characters' skills at the right times. This isn't your typical pick one character and fight your way through setup. It's a much more strategic structure. Visually, the game is said to be stunning. It's being optimized specifically for next-gen consoles and high-end PCs, with photorealistic graphics, from damp jungle textures to ancient stone architecture and real-time day/night cycles. The environmental detail is getting special attention. If those early leaked screenshots are legit, this could be Ubisoft's most visually impressive game yet. And let's talk about character animation. It deserves a whole separate mention. The way Freya spins her spear mid-battle, Joel controlling his drones with pinpoint precision, or the duo syncing up for cinematic transitions. If these details actually make it into the game, this won't just be about mechanics, it'll be a full-on visual experience. There's also some buzz around the game's music and sound design. We don't know who the composer is yet, but the soundtrack is said to be heavily ethnic and atmospheric. Expect drums in ritual scenes, soft melodies during exploration, and high-tension notes in combat, all designed to fully pull players into the world. Enemy variety is another big talking point. Besides your typical gun-wielding mercenaries, there are rumors about ancient cultists wearing creepy masks and even magical guardian statues that come to life. Creatures based on Aztec legends and cursed temple keepers could seriously elevate the fantasy side of this world. There are also claims that the main villain might be a sealed Aztec queen, or possibly a witch. Apparently, she's set to play a major role in both the story and the final boss fight. If that's true, she won't just be a physical threat, she'll be a spiritual one too, especially when it comes to Freya's inner journey. What's unclear right now is how Freya and Joel's relationship will evolve. Some sources say they'll go through emotional conflict later in the game, and that player choices might impact their bond. Nothing is confirmed yet, but we're definitely expecting a deep narrative where both characters confront their pasts and traumas. The character switch system will be under player control, but some parts of the game are designed for specific characters. For example, you might have a scene where Freya has to use her spear in a ritual, or one where Joel hacks into a high-tech security system. These moments will give players a mix of action and puzzle solving, keeping the pace varied and engaging. Leaked info also suggests there will be time fracture segments. Thanks to Freya's seer vision, we might get to play flashback scenes, jumping through different timelines. That would make for a more varied experience, avoiding the usual linear flow. Ubisoft is reportedly planning to announce the project around mid-2026, but the first trailer might drop in late 2025, probably at a major event like the Game Awards. There are even rumors that the trailer will show Freya opening a temple with her spear in a brief cinematic moment. I'm gonna be honest, I'm already super hyped for this game. These leaks actually gave me a lot of hope. I really liked Ubisoft's recent Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I've always been a sucker for story-driven, cinematic games like Lara Croft and Uncharted. So if this one ends up delivering that kind of narrative, with solid gameplay and a strong atmosphere, it could easily be my game of the year for 2026, or even 2027. If it drops then, this is exactly the kind of game I'm obsessed with. I really hope these leaks are legit and we finally get something truly great. Bottom line, we don't have an official reveal yet, but everything we've heard so far is super exciting. With its cinematic storytelling, dual character mechanics, and supernatural flavor, Eclipse of the Relics might just be Ubisoft's boldest project to date. If these leaks turn out to be true, we could be looking at a new classic. I'll keep you updated as more news comes in. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Catch you next time.